Okay, let me just talk to you guys for a minute.
Maria!
Behold the power of the Uchiha clan.
So, yesterday morning, this is now being 2 days ago, so 2 days ago, for you guys, we finally got the full list of the PlayStation Classic. The $99.99 classic version of the original Sony PlayStation 1 will be having 20 games installed. We already knew about 5 of the games when it was announced. It was originally Final Fantasy VII, Ridge Racer 4, Jumping Flash, Wild Arms, and Tekken 3. That was the first 5 games, and we had no idea what the other 15 other games are going to be in the game, in the PlayStation Classic. So, of course, the whole point of the Classic was to have classic games on the PlayStation Classic that represents the entire generation of that system. The top 20 games of that system. When the NES Classic came out, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES Classic has 30 games in it. Which makes sense why I put 30 games. Well, technically, you put like literally the whole entire library in the damn thing. But you can put 30 games into the, or 20. Did I say 30? I don't know. You can put 30 games into the NES Classic, and you play in literally a bunch of games that you could literally play on the NES Classic, which felt like an actual classic for a lot of the games that were supposed to be on the NES Classic. And on the Super Nintendo, they did something exactly similar, except this time it was 21 games, and the 21st game they added on there was a game that was never released ever, which was Star Fox 2, which was the main reason a lot of people wanted to get the Super Nintendo Classic, other than just being another classic version of a model that Nintendo already did for the NES Classic, which was literally the next year after. Which of course it had 20 games, which had 9 games less because of the one exclusive game that was brand new. And of course there were some games that didn't make it on the list, which should have, like Chrono Trigger and Turtles in Time 4, but again there's some fan favorites in there that didn't make it into the list. But let's just talk about PlayStation for a second. They have finally announced all of them. I have the picture that tells me literally the 20 games that will be on the PlayStation Classic. And before I get any further into this, I want to say I am very disappointed in the PlayStation Classic from Sony. I was literally a PlayStation 1er. That is a thing, a PlayStation 1er. I played the original PlayStation when it was relevant. I remember getting games from my dad and birthdays, and I never bought anything like that because I was as a kid until later on started buying my own PlayStation 1 games. And a few games comes to mind that I've had fond memories of, and I know some of the games should even be on the PlayStation Classic. I'm not even going to mention some of those, but the ones that should have been on this Classic is not on the Classic. So here's the games that are listed for the PlayStation Classic. Games are, by alphabetical order, Battle Arena Toshinden. That is a game literally no one knows of, and then people that does know about it, it has to be like people that knew about that obscure game, and there's literally could put any other fighting game on this thing. There could have been, here's a big one, Bloody Roar. Bloody Roar could have been on this PlayStation Classic other than that game. Next, Cool Borders 2. I can kind of see it. I knew Cool Borders was a pretty big thing back then. You can say the same thing with Jetmoto. So, which I'm not saying I want Jetmoto, but I mean that's another option they could have been in there, but they didn't. The next one is Destruction Derby. That one just straight up sounds basic. Like, who the fuck played Destruction Derby? Literally could have put in what was that one toon racing game? I Own It, and I can't remember the damn name. They should have put that in this Classic, but they did not. Next one is Intelligent Cube. I know about that game, but I knew about the game really 20 years later. 20 years later, no one played Intelligent Cube. It's a good fun puzzle game. It's a little confusing a little bit, but they could have put any other puzzle game in there except for Intelligent Cube. let you know it's not that intelligent. The next one is Jumping Flash, one we already knew from the first 5. Jumping Flash is a really good game that should be on the platformer. It's a platformer that should be on the system regardlessly. So I understand that one. Next one is Mr. Driller. Yes, that makes sense. Mr. Driller is actually 100% a good one right there. No questions asked. The next one's another good one. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. Here's one thing I like to mention. So, I've been seeing a debate. I've been seeing a thread on Facebook and in Twitter that the reason why certain games are not on this PlayStation 1 class because they've already been remastered or remade. Now, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, that was remade a few years ago. So why is it, and by the way, it's called Oddworld Abe's Odyssey New and Tasty or something like that. So why is it that the original version is on the PlayStation 1 Classic and not remakes of certain games that we'll be talking about here very, very, very soon? I just wanted to point that out to you guys, okay? Next one, Rayman. You know, that's a really good one. That's actually something that a lot of people know from the PlayStation 1 era. Same with the Sega Saturn. But still, I actually knew it from PlayStation first, so I could give you props for that. And there's my dog. My very famous dog that everyone loves. Which who knows if you're seeing her or not, because there might be a picture in the way. Next will be Resident Evil Director's Cut. Now, for Resident Evil Director's Cut, I understand why Resident Evil, but I don't understand why it's not Resident Evil 2, the one that everyone actually played the most on the PlayStation 1. No one played Resident Evil Director's Cut because it was basically a very dumb version of the game, and everybody played the GameCube version because it was the best version at the time. And it has been until they remade it for like the 15 millionth time. So, it should have been Resident Evil 2. Next is Revelations Persona. You know what? That's a very good entry. Why? Because it actually did kind of represent a lot of RPGs back in the day. Other than there was a bunch of RPGs on the PlayStation 1 regardlessly. So there should have been like Vagrant Story. There should have been a lot of the games. Arc of the Lad. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Next, we got Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I can see the Puzzle Fighter series, but they should have put in like literally Street Fighter Alpha 3 or something. Like literally, could have just thrown that in there, but a way better entry. Way better entry. Here's one that no one's fucking really played. Siphon Filter. No. Next, we have Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. I didn't even know it was on the PlayStation 1. And then the last one is Wild Arms. Wild Arms, very good classic entry. So that should have been on there regardless. Good job. So, did I skip Final Fantasy? Did I? Here, hold on. Yes, I skipped a few. I'm sorry. We got Final Fantasy 7. Yes, that is a must. Ridge Racer 4 Type. Well, to Ridge Racer Type 4. It should have been Gran Turismo for real. It's not on this list. Why isn't Gran Turismo on this list? Next is Grand Theft Auto. That was a big shocker for me because I didn't really think they would add it on there, but that was a good entry. So Grand Theft Auto, why not? Tekken 3, a very good fighting game. It should have been 2 or 3. It doesn't really matter. So good. Metal Gear Solid, good entry right there. And the last one, Twisted Metal, a very good entry too. So those ones are all good. It's just that half of these games no one's heard of. Half of these games don't even know anyone knows even any of them, or played them, or even cared about them. So here's the games that should have been on the list, but they are not. It's not official or anything. I just games that I can think on top of my mind, but it's again not on this list. So games should have been like Croc, Legend of the Barbaro, Gobobos, or whatever it was called. Like literally, that should have been on this list. Another big one, and I know it's a big one, should have been on this list, was, why isn't my phone loading? Sorry. Go. Should have been Crash Bandicoot. Literally, it should have been Crash fucking Bandicoot. And you know who else should have been on this list? Spyro the Dragon. Spyro the Dragon. So for Crash Bandicoot, it should have been either Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, or 3, Warped. And for Spyro, it should have been either 1 or 3. Really, I mean, I don't get it. They could have put in Crash Team Racing for all I fucking care. They could have put in Tomb Raider. They could have put in Tomb Raider. They could have put in some type of Tetris. They could have put in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. They could have put in Ape Escape, Medieval, something. Other than a lot of these games that nobody cares about, and a lot of these games that Sony owns themselves that they could have put in this game. But no. We don't have any of the fucking games that actually make sense to put on the PlayStation Classic. So, why? Why is it that a lot of these games are just not there? I don't know. I don't fucking know. So, I've been seeing just a ton of backlash and about just fucking PlayStation Classic that no one's buying it. No one's gonna buy it. I'm one of those people that has pre-ordered it. I will probably most likely will not buy it. This is not a classic that I would like to buy. This is a classic that I think people should only buy half of the games for. And the only game on there that's actually kind of expensive is Revelations Persona, which is the first Persona game ever. It should have just, you know, straight up been better games, but yet we don't have them. Literally, the games we should have took off this freaking list was Destruction Derby, Cool Borders 2, I don't see Intelligent Cube. A lot of these games should just not be on here. Battle Arena Toshoden, whatever. See what else is here. Siphon Filter, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Resident Evil Director's Cut. Just should have been in fucking Resident Evil 2. They should have been in Resident Evil 2. But like, a lot of these games should just not be there at all, and they are. Why? Like, they should not be there at all. A lot of the other games I mentioned that should be there, but again, we should have all these other games I mentioned. It would have been way better. And a lot of you might be like, well, I liked a lot of these games, and a lot of them are pretty underrated. That's great. But this is a classic edition. Games that people know about, people grew up with, people that's actually wanting this console classic edition of something that we've all grown up on, and that's the point of this entire thing. I don't know. Like, let's look back again at the NES Classic. Okay? Think about the NES Classic. All those games people know about. People played them. People love them. A lot of them are freaking simple as hell. Some of them aren't. Same with the Super Nintendo Classic. But yet, we have the PlayStation Classic. And it's nothing like what we really wanted. The first 5 games they announced, the first 5, that was promising. The one I didn't care about the most was Ridge Racer 4. I didn't care about it, but it was promising. And now that we have the full fucking list, I don't care about it. I'm probably gonna go take off my pre-order of the freaking Classic, so I have $10 available to go pre-order 2 other games I might actually 100% want. Because this is going to be a classic I do not want or care about. And yes, I know about the whole hacking and modding. You can literally put on some PlayStation 1 games onto the console yourself later on. I get that. But in general, if there's people that just wants to buy the PlayStation 1 Classic and want to play the games that's literally built into the Classic, it's not worth it. It really isn't. The only game, again, like I said, it's on there that's even worth it is Persona 1. That game is literally like $150+ alone on that one fucking game. That's probably like the only game worth it, and you're just getting other games with it. Literally the biggest 2 that should have literally put on there was Crash Bandicoot or Spyro the Dragon. Those 2 games define the whole PlayStation era, the first era of PlayStation, and they're not even on the damn Classic. That makes no sense. I don't think it's an Activision problem. I don't think it's anything. I just think it's Sony being lazy. Dude, are they really gonna think that us, the consumers, are gonna be like, that's a very good fucking Classic edition, you know? It's not. It's just fucking stupid. It's just fucking stupid. So why the fuck they think they're gonna spend $99 or 99 cents for a fucking console that doesn't even have the biggest hitters on the original PlayStation at all? No. God, no. I'm gonna tell you some games I grew up with on the PlayStation, and we'll just put some of those games to perspective. That's all on the PlayStation Classic, and that's not on the PlayStation Classic. Okay, big ones, of course. I'm gonna say it again: Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3. I played 2, beat 2 and 3 back in the day when I was a kid. I never beat 1 till later on in my life. Spyro the Dragon. I've only played the original Spyro the Dragon. I never played 2 or 3, but I've been told by so many people and fans and critics around that it's one of the best games in the series, particularly 3. Medieval, I was scared of that game, but again, it was a game I respected and I liked, and I have it again as an older adult, and I'm appreciating it. Final Fantasy VII, I never cared about it when I was a kid, but a little older I got, the more I heard about it, and the more I cared about it, and the more I wanted to try it out, and I suck at the game, realistically, but I respect it for what it did back then. It was a big hitting genre difference. Wild Arms, same exact thing. I'm not a big person to the Western series, but I liked it later on in my life. Here's a big one, Tekken 2 and 3, especially 2. I played the shit out of that with my friend Emilio, and he always kicked my ass because he always picked the freaking Jet Li motherfucker, no matter who the fuck I pick. That or I just fucking suck. I don't fucking know. What was the other one? War something. War Machine? Not War Machines. Stars. It's a PS3 remake now. I don't know, some fucking game I can't remember right now. War something. That was a game I liked, and I didn't like at a later on point, and I liked it again. So I respect it for what it did back then. A lot of these games, Crash Team Racing, Marvel vs. Capcom, Mega Man 8, Digimon World, I'm going like Beyblade, Digimon Rumble Arena. There's a bunch of games I played on the PlayStation 1. And it defined a PlayStation back then for me. Twisted Metal, that was a big one. I have a story about that one, but one day I'll talk about it in the Game Memory episode. But that was a big one. I just don't understand why this PlayStation 1 Classic is literally what it is. It's not a classic. It's just a, hey, here's some games you probably tried before, and we want to sell you them again because we're Sony and you're gonna buy it anyways, right? No, we are not. I mean, for people that's just straight up dumb, like I say, like that's like, oh hey, you guys are dumb. So who's better? If you're still buying it, no, that's on you. You're good. You can buy it. I'm not saying that you're dumb for that. I'm just saying if they think we're dumb for us to really think that that's the classic games, no, half of those are, not all of them. None of us know half of those games. I didn't even know about Destruction Derby. That just sounds like a straight up basic fucking game. Straight up. I knew about Cool Boarders too, but who the fuck cares about fucking snowboarding game? I don't even think 1080 snowboarding is gonna be on the N64 Classic when that's announced officially. I don't think that's gonna be. If it is, okay, cool. But at least that's a game that everyone knows better. Or we could put an SSX Tricky, which is not on there, or SSX, because that's the most better known game. But it's on the PlayStation Classic, because it's probably on the Classic 2 most likely. But still, it's dumb. Give us games that we know. Give us Gex. Give us Gex. You couldn't get this Gex. Gex. Couldn't say it right. That could be on the Sega Saturn, for all I fucking know, Classic. Realistically, this is a dumb list. I'm not buying it. I'm probably leaving my pre-order until the last minute, but I'm not buying it. Unless I hear someone like, oh, we can hack it in like less than 2 seconds or some shit. I'm like, oh my god, maybe, who knows? But I'm not buying it for what it is, because I literally have every single one of those games except for Persona. And the games I don't know, like Destruction Derby, I don't care about them. I already have them all separately. I don't care. Anyways, I probably went way longer than I wanted to on this video. Regardless, everybody, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and because all for the next video game discussion. Literally, I wanted to talk about this one straight up from my perspective. I know I usually, when I do these one discussion videos, this one discussion, not multiple discussions, I usually do it for multiple videos, like multiple freaking stuff. I only have one thing, and I just don't want to not talk about this one because it's fucking stupid as fuck. And I'm a big PlayStation fan. I was a big PlayStation fan. The only generation I skipped was 3. I only skipped 3 because I liked 360 at that time more. But now when I got older, I realized 3 is better than 360. Okay, I know. Don't hate me. But still, regardlessly, I don't know. And for Nintendo, I always liked Nintendo. So don't try to make me think I'm a Sony fanboy. I like Nintendo. And Xbox fans, I was really good with the original Xbox, and I love Xbox One. 360 just has a bad taste in my mouth. I'm just going to say that for now. So, again, everybody, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe below, for the next one, alright? Bye-bye.
Chaos Control!